First off, I'm going to read you a poem. This poem is over. I want to know if any of you recognize the author. Are you all ready? No? Yes. Yeah? Are we? All right. Here we go. On top of a hill, there's a rose. This rose gets sunlight and nutrition from the soil beneath it. Never before has this rose been asked to do a task suitable for the garden. When asked today if the rose can grow the grass around it, the rose stood still. Little red rose, the wind, I can tell your stem is nervous. The wind is whipping you like a baker in his cream. Put the nerves behind you and begin to water your fellows. Success is only a day away. Tonight the rose watered the garden. Can anyone here name the author? You probably don't recognize the author because the author is me. In August 2010, the beginning of my sophomore year, I picked up poetry. I kept it to myself. Mostly because my friends thought it was lame to be writing, partly because I was a guy. They were all interested in cars, sports, parties, you name it. Where me, on the other hand, I stayed up late in my living room, blaring music with a pen in my hand. Mostly I wrote inspirational pieces. However, it was to make up for some of the feelings that I had. See, I deceived myself into believing that I wasn't going anywhere. Everyone around me completely wanted to see me do something great. But by November, I had gotten my writing to a point where I liked it. And I wanted to show someone. So I showed a few of my writings to my English teacher. She was awestruck that I had that kind of writing capabilities. She suggested I look into slam poetry or competitive performance. I was terrified. But just like in FBLA, my English teacher was giving me the opportunity to strengthen my confidence in myself and in my poetry. I was 15 going on 16 with no self-confidence to speak of. How was I going to do that? I wasn't. There was no way I was going to risk what little bit about myself that I liked to be judged by total strangers. A few weeks later, there was this gathering in the auditorium. I walked in and sat down next to a few of my friends to see what was going on. It was incredible. A few poets from Portland had come down to our school to perform. Everything I'd been told about performance was right in front of me. Something, and to this day I don't know what it was, took control of me. I marched over to one of the poets on the side of the auditorium and asked if I could be put on the list of kids that would be performing that day. I waited, and my stomach was in knots. Then I heard it, my name. My legs walked up, I vomited my words sloppily in front of everyone who attended. It was terrible. But the feeling of doing it, I was hooked. I was confident. I kept writing. I told myself that I was going to keep doing this, no matter what stopped me. I was also told that there was a competition in Portland to be put on the first youth slam team to represent Maine ever. There were 5 spots, and I wanted one. I practiced in front of my mirror. Memorization and editing was my life after school for about 3 months, until it was time. The day came that I was supposed to put it all out there. 3 poems, 3 rounds, 5 judges, 1 outcome. I spewed my words all over the audience until I heard my scores. They were mostly 10s. I came in second and I was on the team. As a result of that, my confidence grew again. I've performed in other competitions since then, against other poets in their mid-30s who have been writing for years, and I've beaten them. I've been told by traveling artists that if anyone on the team was to go anywhere, it would be me. By then, I'd only been writing for about a year. Some kid who liked nothing about himself from a no-name town in Maine getting praise from poets who have seen the world and gotten their names put in books for centuries. I've been published. Twice. Possibly even putting out my own book soon. I never thought it would have gotten to this level. I worked and worked and worked until I hated every single poem. And then I taught myself to love them again. I kept performing and building my confidence, and I wouldn't be who I am now without it. I even took the confidence I've gained and used it to do something I never thought I'd be able to. I joined the National Guard. I talked about it since I was a kid, but never had the mindset that I'd actually do it. But here I am. I'm a poet, an FBLA chapter vice president, and I'm going to be a medic for the National Guard. Never had I ever thought of doing something like that. And I am. My message to you is that every single one of you have a goal. Some of you might want to be lawyers, doctors, mechanics, business owners, politicians, poets. Do it. Don't let anything stop you. We've just met and I already know you can do it. But it won't be handed to you. You're going to have to work for it. I'm living proof standing in front of you that goals can be accomplished. I'll even give you a little hint. Something that someone I met a few years ago taught me. False confidence is still confidence. You just need to do one thing that will terrify you. Risk it all. Put it all on the table for everyone to see. You'll be surprised by how many people will look up to you for it. Your dreams are out there, waiting for you. Before you go to bed tonight, think about what you can do tomorrow to make them happen. Have confidence in yourself and your work, and I promise you will go anywhere. Thank you.